Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Absolutely honored to bring you guys another second generation Prius in excellent condition. This one is a 2006 with only 108,532 miles on it. They were put on by two very caring owners that never got in any accidents. The same owner had it for the last almost 10 years, and there's tons of evidence throughout the vehicle, which we will go over in the video, that it was very well loved. It has some minor cosmetic flaws throughout that do not show in any of the photos. Their significance is, of course, totally subjective, so I want to point out as many as I can to you as we walk around the car. It's important to note, too, this car is totally rust-free and absurdly clean underneath because where it's from in Rhode Island actually gets almost 100 inches less snow per year than Rochester, New York. So it's quite a bit sunnier, and they get about 20 inches of snow per year versus our usually cloudy. It's been a very beautiful fall, early winter, whatever you want to call it. But they're quite a bit sunnier and a lot less snow, so it makes for better cars. It's obviously not a Florida car, but it is very far from a Rochester car. So anyways, we'll start with those cosmetic flaws. So down under here, there's a scuff on the bumper and a little crack in the bumper right in the center of your screen right there. And there's some stone chips on the hood you could see. And it's important to note the hood on these cars is aluminum. So the chips will stand out more, and it does chip a little bit easier than a steel hood, but it doesn't rust. So it's a little bit of give and take. There's some scuffs here and some light scratches here. Now, here's one of those pieces of evidence that this was a very loved car. You can get tires for under $40 each for a Prius. This size is one of the least expensive tires sizes on the market, yet the Goodyear Assurance Comfort Tread and All Season is what's on this car. Absolutely phenomenal tire, and it's easily maybe $100, $120 a tire versus, again, on sale you could get them for under $40. So just absolutely remarkable that this car was cared for enough for somebody to spend that kind of money on tires. It's a good indication that maintenance was taken seriously. You can see the brakes. Not sure if you can see. I can see. Let me try to get you a shot there. There you go. So right there, right where my finger is or was, I'll try to get the focus again. You'll be able to see when you're here in person. The brake pads are virtually new. There's probably 95+% on the brake pads, and you can see there's still cross hatching in the brakes. So the brakes are within 1,000 miles. Tires in the front are about 95+% of their tread, maybe about 80%, 75-80% in the back. There's some scuffs along this side of the car. You can see here light scuffing that might buff out. Again, this is absurdly above average, for its year in miles, but it's not brand new either. So I like to point out as much as possible to you guys. People do order cars from us online and have them shipped all the time. You can do that. Of course, we would love to meet you in person and have you test drive it, but either way, whether you come to test drive it or we ship it, we've shipped them as far as Albuquerque, New Mexico. We don't want there to be any surprises when it arrives. So there's that back tire. You can see a bit less tread. If you want new tires in the back, so all four corners are at that 95% plus, just reach out. We could discuss some options. Of course, it's being offered the way it is, but we could work through it if that's a deal breaker. So there's a ding right here. Let's see, underneath, as you could see that silver nubby thing sticking down in the middle of your screen? On these cars in Rochester, this is a 2006. It was manufactured June of 06. Literally by June of 08, that entire box structure, I'll show you in the center of your screen again right there, that entire box structure would be brown within 2 winters of Rochester. So just an indication of how rust-free this car is. It's got scuffs on the back bumper here. While we're in the back, I'll show you inside. So this car did come with floor mats. Unfortunately, they were very stained. They have what's called tannin stains, where you get it clean and then the stain bleeds back up, and the more you clean it, the more it kind of bleeds through the entire thing. So they're available if you want them, but they're not in the car just because they certainly do not do justice for the condition the car is in. The trunk mat does. So just reach out if you want those. Let's see, as far as more imperfections, the gas door is a little bit misaligned, which might be able to be corrected, not sure. You can see there just a little bit. Most Toyotas, unfortunately, are like that. They have a very weak bracket, but this one kind of stands out, so should be able to correct that a little bit. Again, tires in the back, maybe 75%, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. Some scuffs on the door here, and the worst thing it has on the entire car is this dent. You can see as my fingers go by, it wouldn't jump out to you in photos because it's not deep. Again, you would see the car from, this angle and then this angle. Now that I pointed it out, you could probably see it, but, that's one of those things we certainly wouldn't want to be a surprise. Also, too, the mirror was chipped and fixed. You might be able to see that. Very, very minor things. Original Toyota windshield, which sounds like a small thing, but a windshield is part of the structure of a car. So, if the fact that it's original means it wasn't replaced incorrectly, which is a good thing. Of course, it can be replaced correctly, but this one wasn't replaced. So, leather. By the way, it's important to note, newer Prius, 2012 and newer, the leather was vegan. In this particular Prius, the parts that are perforated and touch your body are cowhide. It's a byproduct of the beef industry. They do not raise and slaughter cows just to make leather seats. It's, again, a byproduct, but if you're sensitive to that, do know that this is cowhide, and so is this. This, I believe, is hide, but the sides and this and like the headrests are vinyl. Carpets are in perfect condition, or as close to perfect as possible. There's no odors or anything like that in this car. It does have standard Prius smell. After probably 150 or 200 of these cars, I don't notice it anymore, but it kind of smells like the Apple store or like the computer section at Best Buy. It's the high voltage electronic components over years let off a smell. I'm sure Teslas will do the same thing eventually. But there is that green stain in the carpet in the back. But again, no cigarettes, no food, nothing like that. Headliner, let's see here. Headliner has a couple scuffs in the back from cargo. Otherwise, it's perfect. Again, this is going to be that cowhide, and then the sides are vinyl. This car does have side airbags that protect the hips and ribs of front occupants, and then all four passengers whose heads would be against windows, front and rear outboard passengers. There's a airbag that comes down and protects their head from the glass. Passenger carpet is perfect as well. Next, I want to take you guys for a drive. So, the reason these cars are so awesome, they were massively over-engineered. They're bulletproof. We've had one of these traded in once. It had 424,000 miles on it. It was fine. The guy, the one he had before that, he got up to 860,000 and then crashed it on the True Powell Bridge. Just incredibly over-engineered cars, and that has since gone away. They're still easily, one of, if not the best value on the road, the newer ones, 2010 and newer, but the 04 to 09 in the top 3 best cars of all time, and you could definitely look that up. Don't just take my word for it. So everything works great here except the navigation. It freezes when you try to get to it. Not exactly sure. We might be able to correct that. Do know, of course, that navigation that's almost 20 years old is not only useless, it's dangerous. Roads have changed a lot since then. Just think of like I-390. And, in your own neighborhood, probably, roads change quite a bit. But anyways, these being just bulletproof cars, one thing that's important to note is that there's never a direct connection between the engine and the wheels. So in most cars with an automatic transmission, after a certain speed, the transmission locks and you effectively have a mechanical connection between the road and your engine. And you can feel that throughout the whole car. But this car is driven by electromagnetic fields, and it is just absurdly smooth. The absence of all the mechanical things going on that do in a normal car is what makes these so peaceful to drive. For a less expensive car, it's very quiet, very, very smooth. It's like it drives more like a heavy little Camry than something smaller like a Corolla. As you see, we're already going 60, 62 miles per hour. I'm gonna take my hand off the wheel. Here, let me get straight. Take my hand off the wheel, and kind of a bad example. There we go. We'll get back up to speed one more time. Turn around and come back if we can. It drives absolutely perfectly. And one of the things I love about these cars, our company loves about these cars, is they usually show up needing nothing because they are just, usually well maintained, but also bulletproof and simple, which sounds not how you would describe a hybrid, but they are. Very, very, very seldom do we get a bad one and have to send it back. So, this one, as you see here, will, let's see, 53, getting up to 60. I'm in the center of the road to compensate for the crown, and there you go. Aggressive braking. I actually locked my seatbelt. No shakes, no shimmies, no rattles, nothing. Just a perfect car. So if you've seen enough and you want to buy this car, you can do so through the website, www.pellacars.com. Again, we would love to meet you in person and have you do a test drive. As you see, it's nice and quiet where our office is here in Brockport by the airport. You're welcome to come test drive it. We'd love to meet you. You could set that up through the website or just call me, 585-771-0111. My name is Drew. And again, if you want this car shipped, we can ship it all over the world, really. We buy cars in Japan. These are actually getting really hard to find this clean in the United States, but in a couple more years, we'll be bringing them in from Japan, where they are much better taken care of as a general rule. But we ship cars all the time from as far as Japan, and getting them back equal or greater distances, no big deal. Anywhere in the world, if you want it, just reach out and we can go through the details. So if this video was helpful in your car shopping, or you liked it for any other reason, if it was just entertaining, thumbs up is helpful, and a nice little compliment for the YouTube channel, would appreciate that. And if you want to see more videos like it, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel, the only thing it's used for is these videos. So again, I'm Drew. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and hope to meet you soon. Bye.